Hi friends, it's Terri Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video, I'm going to showcase a collection of product in Stampin' Up September through December 2024 mini catalog. As demonstrators, we can purchase product early. Customers can order starting September 4th through January 6th, 2025. The collection I'm going to feature in this video is called The Nest of Winter. It is on page 30 and 31 of the catalog. A collection of product is one code number will get you everything in that collection if all the product is available at the time you're placing your order, or you can order any of the product on its own. There are two different embellishments in this collection. We have the Nature's linen thread, three different colors, 10 yards of each of these colors, and this is going to be great for your projects. We have some embellishments. These are the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems, 4 different colors, 2 different sizes, and they've got a beautiful shimmer to them. Going to be great for your projects. In this collection, there's an embossing folder. It is the Birch Wood 3D embossing folder, and it is measured at 6 inches by 8.5. I do want to let you know, if you place at 8.5, I have a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock here. I placed it right up to the edge of the folder, the design, ran this through my die cutting machine, and I do want to let you know it doesn't quite get the last 1/4 inch of this, so the longest piece would be 8.25, but it has a great birch design to it. I'm going to be showing some projects with this folder, and then I also want to show you the bundle in this collection. The bundle is the dies and the stamp set bundled together for 10% savings, or you can purchase them individually. With the stamp set, you have 7 images. These images can be cut out with the dies, and then you have 3 sentiments. For the dies, you have 9 dies. Along with these 4, you have these 4 plus this large one, which is really the focal point of the dies. I'm going to be showing you lots of projects created with that. And then I'm going to be showing you the Designer Series paper. The Designer Series paper has 2 designs, these 2, that can be cut out with the same dies that you can cut out those images. So that makes it very versatile. Plus, I love that Stampin' Up has these images colored, these same images that you have stamps for, because it gives you a suggestion on how to color those images in. So I'm going to show you some projects created with this, as I mentioned. The Designer Series paper is 12 by 12 in size. You get 2 each of the 6 double-sided designs. It coordinates with all of these Stampin' Up exclusive colors. The colors are available in cardstock, ink pads, other accessories, and it makes your paper crafting so easy when everything coordinates. So here are the 6 different designs. This is design 1. This is the front side of it. This is the back side of it. And you get 2 of each of the designs. You also have this design, which is wonderful because you can use it as it is, or you can fussy cut around all of these images. And this is the back side of that design. We have this design, which you can use as is. You can fussy cut around these. I'm going to show you an idea using a punch. And if you don't own the punch but have dies, you can use dies to cut these out. This is this side of the paper, and that's the other side of the paper. We have this beautiful design, which is great for any of your paper crafting projects. And this is the other side of that design. Here's another beautiful image, another beautiful design. You've got this design here in this half, and it's repeated on that half. And this is the other side of that paper. And then the last design is this print, and the other side is this print. So versatile. And as I mentioned, it coordinates with all of these colors. It's going to be wonderful for so many of your different projects. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about that large die. I told you that this was kind of the focal point of the dies. So all 3 of these cards are created with this die. And what I wanted to share with you before I go a little bit more into details with that, when I cut this out, I wanted to add a little bit of texture to this, and I wanted to make it simple to do it. So I took a rubber band cluster that I created. Excuse me, these are created with 30 rubber bands. I used the number 32 size, just put 32 rubber bands together. Then I pick up these cable ties. Both of those were at the Dollar Tree. And I put this around the 30 rubber bands. Then I go like this, and I put another one here, just like this. Then I take a utility scissors and trim that like a tassel. Then what you can do is take your ink pad, and I'm using the same color ink pad as my cardstock. I dab this into the ink pad, just get the ink on the surface, and then you can go right onto that. And that adds a unique texture and just gives it a unique look. Great way to add detail to your image. So I did that to all of these 3 card samples. So when I first saw this die, I thought it'd be great to make Christmas cards to insert a photo back there. So I just have a photo sandwiched in between the die cut and the card base. And I will have all the measurements for these on my blog. If you found me via YouTube, look in the text portion of this video. You'll get a direct link to my blog post where you can get all the measurements. And for this card, what I did, because this die, when you cut it on a card base, let me try it. Maybe I'll try this one. When you center it on a card base, you have more space on the sides than you do on the top and bottom, which is totally okay. But what I did here is I made it uniform, and then I made just a little panel on the inside. So I do have those measurements for all the layers. And in the back of this, I've used the embossing folder to texturize that. This is the Designer Series paper cutout and a little bit of that linen thread. For this card, I have it a slightly different. I have this one opening up. So I cut the window out of the front panel of the card base. Then I cut this layer 5 1/4 by 8 and texturized the entire piece. It's folded in half. And when I stamped this, I got a thumbprint down here. So I used that rubber band cluster to camouflage the thumbprint, which is a great way to hide those oopses that you have. I have measurements for all 3 of these cards. I also wanted to share a little bit more about the Designer Series paper. I mentioned that one print has has these 2 images that you can cut out with the dies. There are images that are on the edge of the paper. I would still cut those out because you can put that on your card. You can put it on the inside of the card. And then this paper, I fussy cut those. There's multiple designs on that page. But I also wanted to let you know, if you don't want to fussy cut around the greenery, just cut the greenery off and keep it a bare branch. That's what some of these designs are. There's no greenery in them. So you can see on some of my samples I'm going to show you, I just cut the greenery off. Also, another tip is when you fussy cut, to hide all your imperfections, put it on basic white cardstock. That's going to camouflage your imperfections. These 3 designer papers are perfect to add some on the front of your card base, add a sentiment, and you have a card that's already done. It will showcase the beautiful papers. And I especially love this paper because I love showcasing the front of the paper and the back of the paper. And I'm going to show you a great way to do that with a punch or dies if you don't have a punch. So I have the measurements for this card. So I have a few layers on here. I did texturize the card base, and how I did that is I folded it in half and I ran both layers through. As I mentioned, it doesn't fit if you put the whole thing in. But what I also have here is this top layer. I have the Designer Series paper at 3 by 4. Then what I did was I took a punch and I punched out an opening. So let me just show you what I've done here. For example, this was right here. I punched that out, but I just reached in and punched that out. If you punch that out, then you can turn this over and add that to your card, just like I did here. You can leave it like that, have that filled in, Or if you want to add another image, punch another circle. If it happens not to have a good image in that spot, what I did was I took a piece of my designer series paper and I just cut out as many of these images as I could in a section that I could just use that for my card. So I can take this, I can layer that just down a little bit, and then I can grab one of these and put that on there. Just a fun way to show both sides of the paper. I will have these measurements, as I mentioned, on my blog. Now these 3 cards are showing the designer series paper. I mentioned that you can put it right on your card base and you can have it 4 inches. You're only going to get 6 per panel, or you can go 2 inches and get 12 per 12 by 12. I actually cut mine at 2 3/8. I can get 5 across, 5 on the other section, so 10 per sheet, and then you can add a sentiment. So this is a great card for just a simple, quick card. You could also do that same measurement, but have your card base cut at 6 7/8, and have the 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside, and then just add your panel. Here's an idea. This is one I'm sharing that I actually cut the greenery off of this one because it coordinates with that designer series paper. And also I want to share with you that I used the timber folder to texturize just the portion of this card about 1 3/4 inch in, because that way it also, not only does it show the decorative part there, but that gives you a stopping point where you're writing your message, you stop. Otherwise you're going to see your written message on the outside of the card when it's closed. Any of these 3 card designs, you can interchange the papers and change the colors up. And here's a fun fold. This fun fold is using a smaller panel. This is 1 3/8, and it has this little wall that pops up. This is a fun fold that I've showed a couple times on my blog. If you haven't been watching the videos on my blog and my YouTube channel, I have this video on there, which is the very same card base. And then I have this on the same video, same designer series paper. And then I have this card that's created with the country birdhouse. So this is the very same panel, and I just have some, the measurements there. I'll have that on my blog as well. So more projects to share with you. I hope you are enjoying this video. I want to also show some home decor. I picked this up at my local Dollar Tree, and it's just a wall hanging that has these plaques on it. So what I did is I measured the plaque, and they're all 3 the same size, and I cut a piece of basic white cardstock, that very same size, and I texturized it with the birch wood embossing folder. And then you glue that onto each square. So you need 3 of those. Then I cut my shaded spruce the very same size, and then I took this die and I placed it with equal spacing on the sides and the top, ran that through my die cutting machine, and that got me this much of the portion that I needed. Then I cut another section the same width, and I determined my height of that by the height of the die right here. So what I decided to do is look at this, and I wanted to make sure I captured these bottom images. So that's how wide my cardstock was. I centered it, equal spacing on the bottom and the sides, ran that through, and then you will get this. Now what you can do, let's see if I have a paper snips over here. Now what you can do is take this and trim that off. Trim that off. Once you have that adhered, adhere this next, and then adhere this, and that's going to complete the greenery all the way around your project. And then you can stamp and color in. That's what I did. I stamped and colored in with the blends, and then put those on with dimensionals. So that's a fun way to make a home decor piece, and As I mentioned, I got that at the Dollar Tree. Another idea with the embossing folder is to emboss the basic white lunch bags. So if you put your lunch bag into the folder, put the bottom end in, run that through, it's going to texturize part of that. And then what I did is I just rolled the non-textured piece down. Then I created some of these closures, and these are the nested essential dies. I embossed, I fussy cut around, have the stylish shaped circles for the For You, and then I put clothespins on the back. You can purchase your clothespins, and then I put 3 dimensionals on here. Put your clothespins towards the top of your die, your cutout, and then you can clip that to your gift bag, and you can have a fun way to decorate your, or do some packaging with that. So that's another way of using that product. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. As I mentioned, September 4th is the first day you can order from this product. If you live in the US and do not have a demonstrator you're working with and would like one of these mini catalogs, contact me and I can mail one to you. So go to my blog. The link will be in the text portion of the video. Go to contact me. In the top left corner will be my email. Email me your address and I'll send you one of the mini catalogs. If you have any questions, like I said, please reach out to me. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share my videos. I would appreciate that very much. As I mentioned, reach out if you have questions. Take care and happy creating.